Just over 10,000 pounds, the new Cougar 307 RES landing here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And I like this thing. I like this thing a lot. This is one bad cat, and that's no pun intended on the Cougar here. It gives us a huge rear living room, but it's kind of tricky. This is an in-betweener. So this is bigger than what's called the Cougar half-ton series, but not quite as large as like a full Cougar, say like a 315 RLS. This is kind of a stepping stone in between a 30 RLS Cougar and a 315 RLS. And kind of like Mama Bear, Baby Bear, Papa Bear, this bear is all right. One of the big questions, what can I get to when the slides are closed? Very often, when you have opposing slides in some form of island, you can't get to much. But you see, with the slides closed, you can clearly get to the entirety of the refrigerator very simply, very easily. There's plenty of walking space around here. So, even though it's an awesome destination trailer as we're about to see, it's also, frankly, fairly traveling friendly. Now, despite being called a rear entertainment model, it is kind of converted over to a conventional rear sofa, rear living. That being said, it still has the feel of the old Cougar rear entertainment with that L-shaped kitchen peninsula, but I think enhanced with the more modernized seating styling that more people have gravitated toward. You get the same big fridge as the big Cougars, but something with that upper deck that's a little more towable, like some of the smaller Cougars. The color palette in here, it's warm, it's welcoming, it's beautiful, and you've got yourself a no-neck wrecker entertainment center greeting you there with a dual pivot 4K ultra high def television that can swing around. You can really crank it around. If you want to be in the kitchen, you can basically still see it. Obviously, you can see it from that theater seat surrounded by those big panoramic windows. Or you can pivot it the other way and have kind of a theater seat slash rear sofa visiting area. You can do a little bit of whatever you want there. Below that, of course, we have our electric space heating fireplace. And we're going to look at all the storage around the TV in just a second. But first, take a look at that sofa there. You've got those dual side stands with storage, and a set of household outlets on each side stand, which is great during the day for things like phone chargers. But if we take a look at night, this converts down into an excellent guest sleeping space that is large enough for adults. And again, over here we have our heat massage theater seating with USB plugs to keep our devices charged up, which is super duper handy, surrounded by panoramic viewing windows. Now, all of the windows you see on the right side of the screen right now, I left that shade pulled down so you can see those kind of wooden style blinds. They're easier to clean, they black the lights out from outside. Plus, inside you can see those LED light panels inside of the slide fascia itself, both on the sides and the top. You'll find that on both slides. Really kind of lightens and brightens it up in here. Now, the slide lighting within the slide itself is actually dimmer switch capable. That's what one of the switches is on the left next to the seating area there of the dining. And again, just you want to be able to view your campsite instead of the neighbors. You have just a huge ability to do so, especially considering a full viewing window right there in the entry door. Now, I kind of got myself trapped up here in the peninsula area a little bit, so allow me to back up and get around the corner and give you a better view of this kitchen. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. You see that cool ceiling light fixture with some more of those indirect LED accent panels, which give you very cool kind of nighttime navigation lighting. And there is a big MaxxAir ceiling vent fan above that kitchen area, by the way. 4-door gas electric traveler's fridge freezer gives you plenty of storage space. And I mean, if we're going to talk counter space and plenty of outlets that are all easy reach, this is the model right here. The 315 RLS is nice, but frankly, this actually has more countertop and prep space, I think, actually, than almost any Montana fifth wheel I've seen. This thing has a ton of prep area, but it also has an immense amount of cabinet capacity. Rear entertainments are shockingly good at having a ton of storage. And I talk about the Pantrytainment Storage Center all the time, but it was actually Cougars where I first adopted that phrase, because they were one of the first and one of the best about turning the TV into a door for what is essentially hidden storage. Whether you're going to use it for dry goods or maybe Grandpa's bourbon, you know, well, how you camp is up to you. I like those two drawers right down there too. Just useful keeping your, I don't know, I would say TV guides, but wow, that's actually starting to date me. I'm not even that old, but I'm an old soul, if you will. You know, I'm old for my age, so now I don't call a remote a clicker, but I'm not far off. Big entry area coffee bar with some easy reach outlets. Great cabinet space. And all the kitchen counters in here solid surface, which is a nice touch. You'll find sealed edge thermal foil elsewhere in the RV, like the bathroom when we go upstairs there. I mean, we've already kind of seen a ton of cabinet space, but it just keeps going. And over here, next to this big residential size microwave, we have another big chunk of cabinet area. Actually, I like what they kind of did here, because the old rear entertainment Cougars used to put the microwave up in that area, and it really wasted a lot of potential cabinet storage. And again, just a ton of prep area. It's like, you know, miles of prep space. Not literally, obviously, but you get the point. More of those easy reach outlets over here. Larger 22-inch oven, so if you want to actually make some biscuits and cookies, you can. And the thing is, we're not done with the storage yet, because we still haven't looked at this peninsula. Now, real quick, one of the neat things here, if you look, the L-shaped part of the kitchen counter actually stays in place. The whole slide telescopes over top of it. If you've seen one of these in the past, you probably already knew that, but not everybody has been studying RVs for the last 20 years. And that's the funny thing about being an RV nerd like me. You learn all this stuff, which is really neat and really fun, but none of it's ever going to be on Jeopardy, guys. Now, you know, handy shelf space over here, but below the sink you can see a nice wide open area, which is just begging you for stuff like a wastebasket. Now, something I talked about, but as long as we're looking at storage, we might as well take a full look at it. Look back here around the sofa. There's those wide open side stands on either side there, and if we look above, you can see how that cabinet opens right up, you know, wide open, so that you just don't waste an ounce of space in these Cougars. Flipping us back around and heading our way up the stairs to the bedroom and bathroom deck. On the way, you're greeted by what is both a welcome back light and an evening or morning motion sensitive safety light here. A nice handrail to get you up and down in case you got a little hitch in your giddy up, as well as our in command system. Now, if you're not familiar with in command, it pretty much does everything. You can run your lights, your awnings, your slides, all kinds of stuff. Your heating and cooling right off that. And anything you can do off that panel, you can do right off your phone. So, but the thing is, you don't have to. There's still just a normal switch in the bedroom for your lights. There's still just a normal switch in the living room for your lights. And there are actually mechanical switches on the in-command brain unit and pass-through that we'll see outside to be able to operate your, you know, awnings, slides, jacks, things like that. The porcelain foot flush stool there, giving us plenty of room. And I love that clear shower enclosure and the accented shower panel wall, because it gives it a good look, but it also makes the room look and feel larger. You can see how this, again, being an in-betweener, it has that, you know, two-door kind of pass-through into the bedroom and bathroom. Now, if you like everything about this RV except you don't really like the upper deck, take a look at the 315 Cougar. If you like this RV, but it's a little too big or too heavy, then take a look at the 30 RLS Cougar. Again, this is right in between those two, and it brings kind of the biggest chunks of both of their benefits into one RV. But the one thing Cougars have never offered for a while anyway, is a dual entry door. So they decided, you know what, we'll make our in-betweeners a dual entry where that closet slide in the bedroom actually bleeds through into the bathroom, and then we'll make everything else a one-door bedroom or bathroom. So you have your choice, I suppose. Now, compared to what's called a Cougar half-ton, you have more headroom here in the bedroom, and you can see how they've given us that beautiful front viewing windshield, but there is a night privacy shade you can pull down there. Huge campsite overlook window, 60 by 80 easy walk-around queen with absolutely no ankle breaker, step-o death. Now, on either side of the bed, you've got those nice side stands with household and USB plugs for charging, running, anything and everything. We have built this one with the optional second air conditioner here to maximize our cooling capacity. And again, over here, you see that you've got that big closet storage slide. So it doesn't have a front wall closet, but I don't think it really needs it. And that's why it's a little shorter and a little lighter than something like a 315 Cougar. Plenty of hanging space within that closet, and what's kind of nice is they also gave us some dresser drawers below which creates, in a sense, a bonus shelf above those drawers in the main closet area. And again, no step up around the bed. Instead, you're just going to get a nice big open cargo space below the bed, right above that pass-through compartment. Under that upper deck, you can see that all aluminum skeleton greeting us, motion lighting in the pass-through, kind of like the entry door that we saw there. In-command system and outside TV hookups, all the normal things you find on these Cougars, plus the switches for our 12-volt tank heaters. And that's another kind of cool thing here, is that like all Cougars, this is not just like hot cold camp rated. I always say 0 to 100, but actually I believe Cougar has tested 0 to 110. They're an excellent hot climate camper. For the same reasons, they're an excellent cold climate camper. They do a lot of good things in a lot of the right places. And those, tank heaters are part of that for the cold camping right there. The radiant barrier package they have, and the newer, lighter, brighter, whiter skin, along with the white roof fixtures and roof membrane, really help it in the hot climates. Magnet holdbacks make it easy to get in and out of here, and you can see that upgraded pin, well, not upgraded, but upgraded compared to class standard, that Road Armor pin box system that we have on here. It gives us that smoother, going and towing, less herky-jerky bucking and chucking. I think I've done enough euphemisms at this point. But the point is, it'll ride smoother. It takes a lot of that shock and jolt out, especially because this Cougar is probably one for people who are looking to do some towing and going. Especially at just over 10,000 pounds. Super like 3/4 ton friendly, which is nice. Now, someone's going to say, oh, my half ton's rated for 13,000 pounds. Make sure you have an appropriate payload package for a big girl like this. This is not the kind of rig that like every half ton's fit for. Frankly, I don't even want to really talk about half tons on something like this. I just know that someone's going to ask about it. Chances are this is too big for virtually any half ton, and even a half ton where it is within specs, you'd probably be better off with a 3/4 anyway. Along with that upgraded pin box, well, again, not upgraded, but shock dampening pin box, we have a matching Road Armor suspension system down there on your tires, which is the same thing that you'd find on like a Montana fifth wheel. And that's what's kind of cool about these Cougars. They have a lot of the same treatments as Big Brother Montana, which, not a coincidence. They have the same hot cold camp ratings, and they have the same full-time RVing warranty as Big Brother Montana. Things like an enclosed protected heated docking center like this, certainly part of it. There is a side mount solar prep plug in there, by the way, but it is also roof solar prepped, as we'll get to see in a few minutes. And although you can't see very much anytime I have the opportunity, I do like to just give you a look at the underbelly. It is, again, hot cold camp rated. Cougars have been for a long time. And that full-time RV warranty is part of that hot cold camp package. If you're going to spend, seasonal time in it, you're going to want a seasonal insulation package to go with it. Additional fun features here might include things like the, just one-touch automatic leveling, the reverse lighting on those taillights, backup camera prep, and that 300-pound rated hitch on the back. So if you want to add things like a bike rack or a cargo tray, or like a little tray for a generator if you want to get off the grid. Plus, remember, you do have that solar prep working for you. This RV is set for all of those things. And as we wrap around the side here, I want to point out just, again, the plethora of campsite overlook windows that you're going to enjoy. You get to look at your campsite instead of the neighbors. And notice how you have dual easy tilt power awnings with LED lighting, and within command, again, you can operate those awnings from outside, or let's say you forget and you leave them out or something like that. You can wake up at night, grab your phone and roll your awnings up and never even have to put on pants, which anytime I don't have to put on pants is a good day. And I mentioned it previously, but just to circle back to the hot camp aspects of this RV, we talk, you can see we just have an insane sea of inventory here at Haylett RV. At the time of this filming, we have 705 units in stock. It's a lot. And I know that there's places that have more, but man, that's a lot. For a small town Southern Michigan dealer, we have a big pool of inventory and we sell a lot of RVs. And we talk a lot about, people ask all the time, what, is it cold camp rated, extended season rated? And that's a good question for a lot of things. But something people don't ask enough of is how well does it work when it's scorching hot outside, which frankly is when more people are camping. So that's a question more people should be asking. And Cougars work fantastically. That lighter color skin that they just went to from the previous year's tan will organically shed a lot of heat, or just prevent a lot of heat that they would have otherwise endured. The matching white roof skin, and notice the white AC shrouds reflecting sun instead of absorbing sun. Because if your air unit gets hot, it's pumping less cold air into the RV. So that, in conjunction with things like the radiant barrier package and the AC roof, or pardon me, the ceiling roof vents, which is right behind the AC unit, that's what I was trying to say, it lets a lot of the heat out of the attic area of the camper. Long story short, you're hard-pressed to find something that's going to do better in a hot climate, which frankly is when most people are camping anyway. And, like I said, solar prepped, that's what the black plug is on the right side with, I mean, right here we're already staring a lot of blank room, not to mention there's a ton of empty, like, solar potential roof space all over this roof here. So, whether it's hot, cold, traveling, parking, a little bit of in between, we got a little bit of everything. There's a Cougar getting ready to leave over there on the left side of the screen right now. We roll iron here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Doesn't matter where you live. If you call, you give us the opportunity to earn your business in return for our efforts here today. That's all we ask. And generally speaking, when folks make that call, we make it happen. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and remember, we don't do hidden fees, everyone.